Hi, thanks so much for joining me for this Get Ready With Me featuring my Sephora haul. Before we start though, I have a little indentation on my head from a visor I was wearing when we were working outside. Actually, it's a nice one. It's like a full coverage visor if you want SPF protection for your whole face. I'll leave it listed below, but that's what that indentation is. So I picked up a few things that are new to Sephora as well as new to me, or either new to Sephora or new to me. So I picked up a couple of the matte eyeshadow sticks by MERCIER because they are newly reformulated. I love eyeshadow sticks, so I thought I'd pick a couple up. So one in Cobblestone, and this one is Dune, but I actually didn't use on my eyes. So I'll show you how I use this in the video. And then I thought, okay, let me try a powder foundation, which I haven't tried in a long time. And this is by Dior. And if you can tell, and if you saw my vlog, 4N is too deep for me, even though it doesn't look like it would be. It's very different in the pan than it is on my face. So we actually went through a few applications of this, kind of trying to correct it and work with it because it's great for the exterior of my face, but not the interior. So we'll talk about that. And then I also picked up this, but I showed it in a vlog only. So this is the first time we're trying it in a sit down video. It's the Hourglass blush, not a new product, but I never tried any of them. And I love a good cream blush. This is in Wonder. And then I also picked up this lovely lip product by Dior in 016 because I'm looking for more light colored, neutral lip colors, but I have this in combination with a lipstick that I'll show you because I think that's the best way, at least for me, to use it, but it's a lovely shade. And I actually do not have my Peau concealer on, which I normally use, so you might have an idea what I use that other eyeshadow stick for. And what else do I not have? Oh, I don't have the Perfect Blur powder on. So those are two of my go-tos that you see in almost every video that I'm not wearing today. So if you want to see application, let's go ahead and get started. So going in with the foundation first, I took this out in a vlog and I actually patted it against my skin to see what it would look like on top of my makeup, and it actually was deeper than I had expected because I just kind of went like this without makeup on. And do you see how it looks a little bit lighter? But then I'm just so curious because I haven't tried it since then. I have no primer on. Let's go ahead directly onto the skin without primer and without concealer, because I thought because this is a powder product, it might be nice to try this with, but you see how dark it is there, like compared to that? That's so interesting. But I want to see what kind of coverage we get, and then let's decide what to do. So let me just apply it here first. It's so difficult to get a read on the actual color of this foundation. So this is more of, I think, a velvety finish, they described it, and 24-hour wear. Okay, I feel like I'm making up stuff right now. What does it say? Long wear, no transfer. But I was trying to look at application tips. It didn't really have much information. So you can see though, it's pretty good match to this part of my face. So let's get up here because that's where, see, we're starting to see the difference in my skin tones because this is a lighter skin tone. And when I bring this deeper shade, this is 4N by the way, up here, it looks like it's too much color. So I'm gonna kind of take it easy, but that's actually where I need the most coverage. So, let's just see what happens. I'm gonna build it up here. Yeah, it's too dark. But I like the finish. One of the reasons I purchased this is because I like the encapsulated powder products so much, like the Water Fresh Tint by Chanel. This is actually a blush, but it's the same idea. But I love encapsulated powder products so much. I thought, let me just try a powder foundation. Since I love the encapsulated powder so much, I thought, let's just try an actual powder foundation. It would have been great for me had I been tan, like my tan skin, like right here. It would be really great. Maybe as a bronzer. So we could try that at some point, but I want to see what kind of coverage we can get. So this already, we're going to be kind of tan in this video because the color is off, but we'll see if we get any coverage here. There are a couple of things I want to try though. So, okay. I like the finish on the skin. It looks really nice. I didn't prime on purpose because I kind of wanted to see what it would do, but it has a lovely finish. Let me know if you have this. It's just, I can see the shade match is an issue. It's a little bit off, but I really like the finish. It's lovely. So we're gonna try this. I purchased this not for an eye product, but to see if I could use it as a concealer. It's one of the new MERCIER eye products in Dune because it looked like a really great color to kind of color correct a little bit. The peach color was too peach. I did this on a vlog really fast. So you get to see what I'm really excited about when I just start opening products and start playing with them. But that was the reason I picked this up, was to try this out under a powder foundation. Well, actually, to try it as a concealer, but then also under a powder foundation. I thought it might be interesting. I have a little spot there. Okay. Also, another thing, this might interfere with the whole thing. I want to try it with a cream blush as well. So where'd that go? So I have this Hourglass cream blush that I picked up. I think I tried this out in a vlog too. So if you don't watch my vlogs, I'm kind of just playing around with makeup in those videos just because I want to see right away if they will work the way I want them to work. But you can see the difference, like this is not my skin tone. Even though it looks like it looks pretty good. Actually, it has quite a nice skin-like appearance for a powder foundation. And maybe that's what I should have been using all along, I don't know. Okay, so this is the shade Wonder. So it looks a little bright there. We're gonna do this on top of that MERCIER. I know it doesn't really give it the most fair chance because I'm layering all kinds of things on top, but let's see. And of course you can find this at Sephora. This blush is pretty, isn't it? So if you're looking for something that's gonna be a neutral if you have more warm skin tones, because it's a little bit warm in here, but once on it looks just like a natural flush of color. I'm gonna try this because I don't know, maybe it's too opaque going in with this product with the sponge. So I'm gonna take my Perfect Blur Powder brush, no, Buff and Blur brush by Chantecaille. I'm gonna try, ooh, see how powdery it is? Can you see that? It got really powdery, you can see. So maybe be careful because it's gonna be intense. Maybe that's gonna be intense. Let me start out here. So let me just buff it in with a brush and see if that's any more, I don't know, nuanced or less intense. Actually, that's quite lovely with the brush and the blush underneath. I think this is the right color for my forehead area and the exterior of my face. But do you see how, actually, that was a nice little application there. To go in with that MERCIER and then the blush and then this, and then I don't need concealer. Ooh, I wonder if it's too late for this side. Is it too late? What's this? Okay, this is a hydration cream. Let's just remove some of that because I liked that application. This is by REPHR. So I'm just gonna remove my makeup that way. Light hydration cream. It's got niacinamide, dimethicone squalene, and meadow foam seed oil. It's this one right here. It's fragrance free and it says for all skin types. So I'm just going to kind of remove that with this, just this front part here. That way I can still stay hydrated and not start completely over with skincare, but still remove that makeup right there. Just right there. Not all over. I can keep it on the exterior, but it worked out really nicely. Let's see if it works on this other side. Probably my favorite type of makeup is really experimenting and seeing how best to use products, which can be a little bit tricky on first impression type videos. So this is technically not a first impression because I tried it already and discovered how deep it was. But I love the way this looks, like a let me lean in. It's really skin-like. There's nothing that looks like I'm wearing a lot of makeup. Area is a little bit bigger in terms of the discoloration because I just kind of had that dot there, which you can still see a little bit, but it cut down on it at least. But as I said, yeah, I know there's a peach one, but I looked at it in store and it was really like a bright peach. Whereas this just kind of neutralizes this versus color correct so much. Also, I thought this might be nice for the outside of my eye right here, where I usually will put some Clé de Peau concealer to cancel out that shape right there because it's really changes the exterior shape of my eye. Let's see how that does. Yeah, I tried this with Trench by Victoria Beckham, which was a suggestion or a recommendation or a question from you So I thought, yeah, let's try that. Let's try these eyeshadow sticks as something else. Going around the nose area as well. So now that we have that in place, yeah, it just kind of erases that area, doesn't it? That dark area. Now, it's not exactly my skin tone or anything. You can see a little bit coming through. Let me see. And then we're gonna do the blush again. It's really nice with the brush. So apply it here. And then, so just moving it around here, but then just stippling it because I don't want to move that around. Go in again with the foundation. Yeah, I think I just need like a little bit, maybe 3N for the middle part of my face because it's just a little bit too tan. This eye concealer is my go-to. It's really good. I saw Gucci has one that is carried at Sephora, a new one. So of course I'll try that. And yeah, some interesting things are appearing on Sephora. I'm not going to apply eye primer today because I'm going to use another of the new sticks, the updated eyeshadow sticks. This is a little bit out of order. I know it's a little bright here, but let's let that settle in for a minute. I really like this brush for under eye concealer, number 71. Okay, let's go in with the Dior Brow products. The gel first, 032. Okay, and then the Dior pencil. Let's go ahead and, oh yeah, you can definitely see that is too dark for me. Let's try something because, I mean, I really like the finish of everything there, but I feel like I need to brighten or something this front area because it's just the wrong shade. I don't know if this is gonna work, but let's try. We've got a REPHR number 5 here. It's funny, someone mentioned I should use this all the way up to pan, and I will. I will get a new one, probably wait for a sale, but this is a Valentino 09. I don't know if this is gonna help lighten this up. It's just, we are very tan looking. This is my summer tan color. And then of course we'll compare it with the Chanel. And I think my Chanel shade is better, which is a little bit lighter and a little peachier. It's this shade right here. So we're gonna try this out because the one that I have, and if you saw my vlog, you'll know that's probably not a surprise to you that the Chanel is probably gonna work out better shade-wise. Here they are together. So if you're interested in powder foundations, make sure to come back for the Chanel one because I'll do that one probably maybe next because I'm gonna compare a couple of other products from Chanel. Picked up a couple of things. I picked up the Merit eye product and the Laura Mercier in Cobblestone. So I'm not sure how to do this because I want to try both, but I don't think can we do both at one time? Let's do Cobblestone first. So I picked Cobblestone because it's a cool neutral. Most of the neutrals I see tend to have like a reddish tone or they're too warm. So I look for cool ones, and that's taupe right there. It's not called taupe, it's called Vachetta, the one by Merit, which looks really pretty. And then we've got Cobblestone. So you can see they have different undertones for sure, but let's use Cobblestone here. And this is again a new and improved, oh gosh, that's way too tan. This is an improved, supposedly, new improved version. So let's see. I noticed though the ones that had the lids off of them seemed to dry out quite quickly. Oh, it's pretty. It's like a grayish tone. There's just a little hint of a green undertone. Oh wait, I like that. So let's do that one, and then we're gonna go ahead and put some mascara on and see how that goes. I went in with the Faux Longest Lash Mascara by CHANTECAILLE, and I also went in with an item that is no longer available because I have not found a replacement yet for it. La Prairie right in that deepest part under the, right here, you can kind of see it, where it's lighter, just to really bring that deepest part forward. And then I wanna go in under the lash line with Trench And this one has more of a caramel tone versus a peachier tone right under the lash line. Just kind of cancels out. And then we'll go in again with Dune here in those exterior corners. I really like the Cobblestone though. Yeah, so we'll do the Merit one in a different video, but I can definitely see that as a daily eye product because it's really pretty. And it wasn't too much, it was just the right amount. Let's see if we can make it go a little higher though. Sometimes it can kind of get lost. So you can see there definitely, but you've got to move a little bit fast here, but not super fast. Because I've had other eyeshadow sticks where it's like you only have so much time to work it then. And then that's it. This one you have a little bit more time, but it does set. So you just have to know you need to move fast. Now the only thing with eyeshadow sticks, especially with these matte ones, is if you let it go too long or you start bunching it up, it can get kind of gummy and build up, and then it's just becomes kind of like sticky. So I'm just dotting it on in the places I want it because I don't want it to accumulate too much in one area, because right there I can see there's potential for it to get a little bit gummy. I think it's best to keep it closest to the lash line though. And that's probably how I'd use it, just mostly on the lid, because I can see right there, if I'm not careful, it could be more time consuming rather than what this should be, which is fast eye, but I'm just trying to scrape it off here. But you can see what I mean by gummy. And I think it's because I put on more after it's set, which probably, well, in my experience, that never works anyway. So I don't know why I thought it would work now. I think because it went on so nicely the first time, it was really a nice application, just the one and done. So I wouldn't try to mess with this too much. Yeah, do you see what's happening there? I wouldn't try to mess with this too much once it's on, because it looks lovely the way it is. And you kind of just have to be okay with the way it is once, I think once it's on. So decide where you want this and then don't mess with it anymore. Because now I've got this fun to deal with here. But I think you can see clearly how I made it more difficult for myself. Let's try something just to see if we can work around this, because it's not gonna go perfect every time in terms of application. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that cream that I used to remove the front part of my makeup first and just see if I can use a little. Okay, maybe eye makeup remover, because this is not, well, you can see how much it doesn't move, but certainly avoid bunching it up or layering it, because clearly it does not work well that way. So just because there's a little issue doesn't mean I have to remove everything. Now, if it was like I was a makeup artist and I needed to do this for a photo shoot, maybe I might consider starting over. But you can also see that it's not gonna move anywhere. Okay, while we're waiting for that, I took out one of my Hourglass palettes so we could use Dim Light, which is this color here, the lightest one, to see if we can bring this out, because it's just the wrong shade here. I don't think this is gonna work. It's so difficult to go from too dark and then fix the color versus it being too light and then adding color is easier. So that's why I always will err on the side of lighter, but the correct undertone versus deeper. And I don't know why I thought this was gonna be lighter. We might just have a mess at this point. Let's see if we can salvage it. This might become a big disaster, but we're gonna just play because I love seeing what makeup can do. After a certain point, yeah, it just becomes a mess. But let's try. Let's go back in with the Hourglass. This might help us out. Let's see. So the Hourglass again. I'm trying to think what else can help us out here. Okay, this might be helping. Taking a little bit of Westman Atelier Peau de Pesche. I'm just trying to think of any brightening, highlighting, anything that can bring this forward a little bit. I'm just gonna use the same brush here. I just need to find my Victoria Beckham in Marble so I can contour slightly on the nose. Okay, while we're waiting for all of that to kind of mesh, did that improve it? We'll see. I mean, I'm very glowy at this point. These are very thin layers though, so it's not like I'm piling on a lot of makeup. I wanna go in with the lip product. This is by Dior. It's in number 16016. I have a combination I wanna show you, but I also wanna show you this first because I wore this, of course, Couldn't wait to try it. Wore it the other night. I like that it has a very soft glow, nothing too sparkly. It's almost like a milky kind of glow to it. Very subtle in terms of its shimmer. Okay, so let me leave that there, but I want to show you the combination that I wore that I really liked. So I'm going to go in with the Laura Mercier again, just to build right over here, and let's move fast this time. So I'm going to put a little extra and then blend quickly. But I would not recommend letting it set and trying to add more. It's kind of like whatever you end up with, that's what it's going to be for the day or until you wash it off. And then if you need to just spot add, just dot it on and then blend. Yeah, that was better. I think you can kind of tell when it's starting to set because it'll get kind of like uneven. Really subtle eye though. Okay, so let's go in with the lip products that I do like, the combination I do like. I don't know if that really worked, did it? It's very glowy in the front. Yeah, I don't know. Let me put the lip color that I want. Okay, I'm gonna go in with 914 and then add that because I think it was a really pretty combination. Rouge Coco Balm in 914. So that's Rouge Coco Balm in 914. This is 016. There's another Dior product I liked. I think it was 38. It was like a rosy beige color. They didn't have it in stock. It looked pretty. Okay, so that's a combination I love. Okay, now, since this is too dark, I'm gonna show you a little trick. This is another thing you can do to help fix makeup if it's wrong in just a certain place. Take a little bit of the Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh tint. This one is in medium plus, and I'm just gonna take this and emulsify. It's just gonna break this makeup up here so I can start over because that is bothering me. Usually I can just work this in and then it will just come back together, especially if it's just falling apart, but I'm gonna actually remove because it really bothers me that that color is so off. I'll try one more thing. You can see how it just wipes it away. Let's try this again. So let's go in with this Dune. Let's go in with the Hourglass product. Oh, I still had a little bit of that Westman Atelier in there, so it made it a little bit more glowy, which is fine. Actually, that's quite pretty with the Westman Atelier in there. Okay, now let's go in light-handedly with this Dior product. I don't know if this is gonna help, but we're gonna try. So let's take this brush. It's a Rowan brush. It's a little bit better. Let me go ahead and fix my hair, and then I need to find that contour. So here is the final look. Now, here are my thoughts. First, on the foundation, I wish I had 3N because 4N is too deep, although it would be interesting to see 3N for the interior and 4N for the exterior. I also think this will be really great for using with SPF that's too light for me. So say the Color Science, I'm gonna try that on top of Color Science. So I'll let you know how that works because I've actually been taking a bronzer and bronzing up my SPF to get it to the right place, but I think this might be an interesting idea as well. So this might not be a total loss for me. I like the finish, I'm really impressed with it. It is a very skin smoothing, skin enhancing kind of foundation without getting stuck in pores, which is one thing that powder foundations have done for me before, but it's a very nice finish. And you can see it has a lovely skin-like glow, which is surprising for a powder foundation. So I feel like powder foundations have come a long way since I used to wear them. So I like the finish, don't love the color for the interior of my face, but love it for the exterior of my face. But like I said, we'll do the Chanel video powder and we'll see how that works out in the center of my face. And maybe it'll be a combination of the two. I don't know, but make sure to come back if you want to see that in action. I loved Cobblestone on the eye. I think it's so pretty. I love the finish. It was very even and smooth going on. It doesn't seem to be creasing, which is great. But you saw the issue I ran into once it's set. I wouldn't mess around with it anymore. It's kind of like whatever happens that first application, that's it. Unless you want to just remove it and start over. It's really difficult to try to add on and intensify after the fact. It's really hard to add on and intensify after the fact. So I would just go with that light application like it went really well on this eye. This is a daily eyeshadow for me, just like The Chanel product that I love is the Daily Eyeshadow, really quick application on those as well. The loose powder. This does not have potential fallout like this loose powder by Chanel though. If you're wondering, this will be much faster, but there's more wiggle room with something like this than this. Once this sets, it can't be really built up, but this can be built up. Not that it was a comparison, but if you were wondering, for those who love one and dones. Oh, and I was actually holding up an old Laura Mercier one in khaki. This is Cobblestone here. The matte, and you can see the matte finish here versus the regular finish. So sorry, I was holding up the wrong thing. This is the one I was talking about, Cobblestone. And then we've got here Dune, which I thought was kind of fun to use to cover up dark spots. It's a little trickier. I think the Clé de Peau is still better than using this as a concealer, but just in a pinch, I wanted to see how it would work, see how it would perform as a concealer, because again, the same properties that you want in an eyeshadow are the same things you want in a concealer. And so they don't crease, they don't move, those kinds of things. They sit really close to the skin. I thought it might be interesting to see what this looks like. I'm still not gonna give up my Clé de Peau for this, but it might be something I could use if I can't find my Clé de Peau, which would not be a thing because I have like 6 of them. So kind of a fun little trick if you wanted to try that. Oh, and then this is lovely, the Hourglass stick blush. I really like it. I like the color. I think it's beautiful. Actually, I really like the application of cream blush and then powder foundation. I thought that went really nicely. The Dior lip product, I think it's really pretty. I like it for a very light application. Yeah, but I think my favorite application was with the Chanel 914. I really like that combination. Let me know if you wear 3N in the Dior powder foundation. I'd love to know. I think it'll work, I'm just not sure. But that's it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well if you enjoyed this video. If you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.